Now, one question that I get asked all the time, so don't text me with this, is if you could take a pill that would make you thin, would you take it? Of course I bleeding well would. I would like to take a pill that made me 6 stone. Then I could eat my way back up to 10. What a bloody brilliant weekend that'd be, wouldn't it? You see, I think there's 2 types of people in the world, right? And it's all to do with how they eat biscuits, right? Because the first type of person makes a cup of tea, gets a plate out, opens the packet of biscuits, takes 1 biscuit out, puts it on the plate, and eats it very daintily off the plate. Folds the packet back up, bit of sellotape over the top to keep it fresh for next month. Now, those sort of people should be executed, shouldn't they? Because the rest of us get a packet out, eat the whole fucking lot without taking the cover off, do we, really? And consequently end up looking like me. Because I've always had a weight problem. You know, when I was a teenager, I remember going to see the careers mistress, and she said, "What do you want to do?" I said, "Well, I'd like to be a nurse or get married." She went, "Better be a nurse, then." When I was actually a teenager, I wasn't frightened of teenage boys, but I'm terrified of them now. They're a scary bunch, aren't they? And you know, I actually have teenage nephews, and one of them always has a sign on his door saying, "Keep out," like you're going in there without a flamethrower. Lend me my crampons, dear. I'm just popping in to tackle Tissue Mountain. And of course, the worst thing I think you can do with teenagers is try and kind of get down and speak their language. They hate that, don't they? Which is why I quite like doing it. And I actually found this out to my cost last year, right? Because I went around for months going to people, "Would you look at that minger over there?" That is a minger and a half, that is, isn't it? And I found out that this was actually wrong. To my cost, outside my local parks, there were 2 teenage boys. I went, "Lads, look at that minger." What a blinking minger that is. And they went, "Oh, for Christ's sake, it's Minger." And that's our mum. So, you know... Do we have many politically active people in tonight? 1. Well done, sir. No, because I've been a Labour Party supporter all my life, and in fact, at the last election, I was asked by Tony Blair to go and speak at a rally in Hove. Oh, joy. And, but, you know, it just made me think, standing in the front row with all these dignitaries, these Labour Party dignitaries, I've come a long way since Fags Behind the Bike Sheds. Because I had Blunkett there, I had Cherie Blair there, Tony Blair came along the row, shaking everyone's hand, got to me and said, "Thanks for doing this, Joe. Kiss me." On the lips, trying to get his tongue in. Got up to do my speech, Blunkett had undone my bra. Because they're mad for it. They are. I was shocked, you know, because I was brought up in a little country village. The only thing we had to do at the weekend was bell ringing. Now, I don't know if anyone's tried that, but it's much harder than it looks, which I believe is something John Prescott says to a lot of women that he meets. But,
I'm going to explain the concept and naked attraction to you, and you're going to think to yourself, Suze, previous to your gig tonight, did you nip outside and smoke some crack? Because that's how mental it is. Right, Emma, a girl walks out on stage, she's like, "I'm looking for a boyfriend." And the host goes, "Brilliant, we've got 6 naked men in tubes behind." Then the host says to the girl, "What are you looking for?" And the girl will always do the same thing. She'll go, "Oh my God, you've really put me on the spot." And you think, "No, you chose to come on this show, moron." She goes, "Well, I guess I'm looking for a boyfriend, but also a friend. I really like going to European city breaks, maybe someone that likes travel. And I really like music gigs as well, so maybe someone that likes music. And I guess if I'm being really honest, what I'm looking for is love." And the host goes, "Brilliant. Let's see if you can find love by judging dongs." Okay? 6 naked there's a screen in front of all of them. Every round, the screen goes up a little bit more to show a little bit more of the naked body. Every round, one man gets eliminated until the end. She's got a couple of nudie fellas to choose from, okay? Now, Emma, first round, screen just goes up to the knees. There's always one bloke who's got really rough feet, really rough, like he was an extra in The Hobbit. And he just never took the feet off afterwards, right? Now, she clearly looked at them feet and thought, well, them trotters ain't coming home with me, right? And you think, well, that's the end for him. Not the end. They don't shoot him. You think it's the end of the show for him, but it's not. It's not the end of the show, because he then has the indignity of the screen going the whole way up, so you see his penis and his face. Then he has the most awkward moment in television where he steps out of his tube, walks over to her and gives her the most uncomfortable hug you have ever seen. Well, you can tell all he is thinking is, don't touch the lady with your dick. Whatever you do, don't touch the stranger with your dick. And then his sad little ass walks off stage. Now, the next round, the screen comes up to the waist. And let's be honest, it is the round we are all watching for. It's cock-a-clock. Now, it's not going to come as a surprise to any of you. There's a lot of people in this evening. I'll bet it doesn't come as a surprise to one person in this room. I ain't seen many willies. I ain't seen many of them. I ain't seen many willies. I'm not a connoisseur when it comes to willies. I was straight for a month when I was 18. I don't have the wrists, okay? But even to me, even to the untrained eye, there was one that I was like, oh, there's something up with him. There was something just not quite right about it. They're not meant to have a corner, are they? Halfway through, it had like a proper corner. Now, she clearly looked at that one and went, ooh. She can't do that, can she? She's got to go work on Monday. She don't look like a bitch on TV. So instead, she has to do a little lie. Emma, see if you can see where she went wrong. She went, I'm going to have to get rid of number 4. Colonel Weird Dick. I'm going to have to get rid of number 4 because the way that he's standing, he doesn't really look like a very confident guy. And I'm only really attracted to really confident guys. And I thought, he has his penis out on television. How much more confident would you like this twat to be?
But do I get to travel with this job a lot, which I enjoy. I get recognised as well, which is a strange experience. It's not always from being on TV. Sometimes you just get recognised the next day if you've done a gig somewhere. Like I had this recently. I was up north, and I'd been doing some gigs. The next day, I was just in the hotel having my breakfast, and there was a couple in the corner, and I could see they kept looking at me. This couple must have been sort of in their 50s, and they kept looking over at me, and I was just having my breakfast. And as they got up to leave, they came past my table, and they stopped. And the lady said, "Can we just say," she went, "You were amazing last night." I said, "Oh, wow, thank you so much." She was like, "Honestly, our cheeks are still hurting." I was like, "Wow, thank you." And her husband was like, "We just love finding new people." I was like, "Wow, thank you so much." And they walked away, and a few people turned to look at me, and I thought, oh, they're probably quite disappointed. They don't recognise me. They don't know who I am. And then I thought, no, that's not it at all, is it? It's because at no point during that interaction did anybody mention that I was a comedian. So all that happened was this couple approached me over a hotel breakfast and said, "You were amazing last night. Our cheeks are still hurting. We love finding new people." But of course, the issue is that the people there, of course, you can't tell from looking at me like I'm a comedian, because you can't just judge someone just by looking at them, can you? I mean, you can, but you shouldn't. But you can sometimes, can't you? You know, like, for example, if you see a man over 55 with a ponytail. You can make assumptions, can't you? Like, he's either a magician or he knows karate. You know one thing for sure, he's definitely divorced. Like, you shouldn't, but you can is my point. But of course, ultimately you can't, and you can't judge someone just by looking at them. Like, you wouldn't know, for example, you wouldn't know from looking at me that I've got epilepsy, would you? Because I haven't. No, I do, don't worry, it's fine, it's good news, I got it. In fact, fun fact for you, I had my first ever seizure during National Epileptic Week. Which was fitting. I'll tell you about the first seizure I ever had. Is that okay to do? Is that all right? Thank you. I know sometimes people get a bit funny if people start talking about health conditions. I know some people don't like to talk about their own health conditions. Like I've got a friend called Paul. He's got psoriasis. Doesn't like to talk about it at all. And I'd rather just sweep under the carpet. So people in the audience, some big fans of psoriasis stuff down here. There's more if you want it. Just scratching the surface. But no, we'll move on. It's one condition at a time. Yeah, sorry. The first seizure I ever had, it was my first year at university. I was in Topshop trying on a pair of jeans in Topshop. I had no idea that I had epilepsy. I just went in there to try on these jeans, fell to the floor, I had a seizure. I woke up, still in Topshop. I had no idea what was going on. I just woke up. There was this bright light and 3 women looking over me. I thought I was in heaven. And then one of them just went, "Excuse me." She went, "Do you know what day it is?" Now, I didn't know that was a thing. And I remember just thinking, can you not ask someone else? And so to me, this woman had just walked into Topshop and just gone, "What day is it?" Oh, that's that guy there on the floor. The one who's bleeding from the mouth and appears to have wet himself in a pair of jeans that he'll be forced to pay for, which is unacceptable. I was glad when they went under.
And I got mugged once, and I don't know if you've ever been mugged and fought back. I didn't, right? It was so scary. I was in Brighton. This bloke pushed me against the wall, went, "Give us all your money." I ain't got any money. I genuinely called for my mum. How pathetic's that? Mum, as if my mum's going, "Oh, Russell's in trouble." Don't know what that is. Apparently my mum's a meerkat all of a sudden. Right. I went and I told my little brother about getting mugged. Did he care? No. It was sort of "What happened, Russ?" A little bit of wee come out. He got really angry. "What'd you do that for?" Like I'd done it on purpose. I'm not a toad. Didn't try and ward him off with my venomous piss. I didn't think you're under attack. Secrete, toad boy. Show him your powers. I've wet my pants. He offered me advice, genuinely. "Well, you know you're a weed brush, just use your brain. Next time, bamboozle the mugger." That was his genuine advice. But how'd you bamboozle anybody? Someone, "Give us all your money." Well, you say that, but what, my friend, is the opposite to opposite? Consider yourself bamboozled. Who's next? "You like my credit card details? What colour does a Smurf go when we choke it?" "You know my name. They call me the Bamboozler." Ridiculous. The worst superhero in the world. If I was going to have any superpower, I'd like the ability to make somebody orgasm just by touching them once. Not for sexual purposes. That would be amazing in a fight. Kill him! "Kill him, Steve. I'm trying to, but I'm too horny. He's made my belly fizz." I haven't got that skill. If I had that skill, I wouldn't be here. Be in the zoo causing a great deal of mischief. "Which animal, old lady?" "The hippo." "You got it." I love regular sex. I'm quite confident sexually, but I make mistakes. Do you know what I mean? Has anyone ever tried using food in the bedroom? Has anyone ever? Look at you going, "We're not telling you." It went really badly. So I was like 19, and I read in a magazine like 59 ways to please your lady, and using food. So I went and bought. Now this is a mistake. I went and bought a 4-pack of Rolo yoghurt, and rather than tell my then girlfriend what I had planned, I pretty much waited for her like some hideous yoghurt goblin. And I doubt there's anything more terrifying and yet pathetic to come home and find your boyfriend naked holding yoghurt. I panicked, and I didn't put a little bit. Honestly, we're both fine with the arrangement. I pretty much covered her, right? Every bit of skin I could find. By the time I'd finished, she looked a bit like Morph. She's no longer my girlfriend, now she's an angry meal. Eat me. Where do you start licking? You can't lick randomly, and then she looks like she's got an illness. So I did foot up to knee. That took me an hour. We're having fun now, aren't we? Having fun. Why aren't I going out with a hobbit? 2 hours later, we realise she's dairy intolerant. We're down the doctor's. She looked like an angry gingerbread lady who'd had her leg dipped in Tipp-Ex. Right?
That has done me the world of good. Thank you for that. Because I was waiting back there behind the big billboard, absolutely terrified. I'm not a natural performer. I'm not, although I have been doing this talk around the country for about 2 months now. I won't lie to you, it's not been going very well. I think the worst one was Folkestone. I have never seen an audience turn so quickly. Rushing at the stage, anger in their faces. Refund! Refund! It was horrific. I'll try and paint a picture for you. Youngsters will know what I'm talking about. Are there any youngsters in the... You can relax, sir. Well, there's a youngster. What is your name, sir?
Riyad.
What's that?
Riyad.
Riyad.
With
What?
Z. Riyaz with a Z.
Riyaz with a Z. All right, it's not Sesame Street. Riyaz, how old are you?
18.
18? Shouldn't you be wearing a hooded top? Get out of my shopping centre! Riyaz. Don't laugh at Riyaz, please. You'll know what I mean, Riyaz, when I talk about stage diving. Are you familiar? You won't know what I'm talking about, sir, but this is when a rock star, like a Kurt Cobain or a Duncan from Blue, they run and they leap. And you're right to be afraid. You're right to be afraid. They leap onto the audience, Riyaz. It's terrifying. The audience grab hold of them and manhandle them. Turning them around like that, all over the place. Terrifying. Now, what happened at Folkestone was almost a complete reversal of that. with people just rushing at the stage. It was appalling. But I don't think we're going to have a repeat of that tonight. I don't. Because I'm already getting a lot of warmth from you. I am. To quote the great Darius Danesh, there's a lot of love in the room. There is. And a wide range. We've got Riyaz with a Z. No one can take that away from you, Riyaz. I wouldn't try to. You'd whip out your hooded top and you'd happy slap me into submission. But it's a friendly crowd. We've got a proper... Look, here we go. Right down in the front, there's a chap here wearing a T-shirt with a slogan on it. Unbelievable. A grown man. What is your name, sir?
Chris.
Chris, with a Z? Riyaz, you're one up. You're ahead. I'll bet there aren't many other people in the whole building who have a Z in their name, in all honesty. Unless Zebedee's joined us tonight, which I think is unlikely. So you're a Chris.
Yes.
Chris. And what's the idea with the T-shirt, Chris? Is it Rag Week?